Market moving along these lows. Then as price starts moving down, we have an angled line of resistance here. I'll go ahead and remove both of them, and we'll look at some more. Let's just go ahead and we'll move the chart along, and we'll find these different areas of support and resistance. You can see the market moves up along this one actually for quite some time. Whoops. There we go. And there's an angled resistance line here. And you can see on occasion price or the line does move a little bit. So let me get this over here. There we go. Now here's one of the things you can see with these lines, and it never ceases to amaze me that this happens. Okay, if you were watching me, you saw that I drew the line based on this high and this high, but look at what happens. The line, this is what I call the price is honoring the line. Here, it honors the line again 3 times in a row here, and also one more there. Now look at this line. I drew it based on these 2 points. 1, 2. But look at this. Another time. Another time. Comes close right there, and then finally breaks through. Right there. So you can see that by drawing a line here, and remember I wasn't drawing the line. In fact, I can prove it to you by simply clicking right there, and you can see that these boxes, you can see that these are called anchor points. Look at that. Anchor point there and there. Anchor point here and here. But price again and again comes back to the line, honoring support and resistance. Let's go ahead and delete the lines. We'll just flick through here and we'll look for some more. Now again, just get the concept down here. Make sure that you can get the concept. Resistance, we're looking for some highs. Boom, boom. We've actually got 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's look for some support right there. 1, 2. Very simple, very quick. Now we can go in a little bit further. Right in this area here, you can see there's a bunch of support right along in this area here. Go ahead and well, select the. Well, you know what? I'll leave these lines on here for a little while. Let's see what happens with price. Well, you can see the price break. Let's go ahead and zoom back out. And we'll delete this one, and we'll delete this one, and that one. Now I'm going to draw a few more lines, and then we'll start talking about trading tactics again. You can see here, very obvious line of support. Now again, remember I'm drawing this line based on this point and this point, but look what happens. Market hits it again and again. Now let's draw in some resistance. So I drew it here and here. And look at this. In between, of course, it hits that line, but it comes up close again. Let's see if we get any more. And then it breaks through. Okay, so that should get the basic concept. The angled line is on the top for resistance. The angled line is on the bottom for support. Now, what does all this mean? Well, when we're looking at these angled lines, what we're trying to see are areas of likely momentum. Remember, we're not trying to trade, we're not trying to be the first one to trade. We are trying to identify, remember, trend, which equals momentum. We then look for pattern and support and resistance. Remember, I said in the introduction, every section builds on another. We've talked about trend and momentum. We've talked a little bit about pattern. Now we're talking about support and resistance. Up to this point, we're only talking about how we're looking for patterns. We'll get into some very specific patterns. I showed you some examples. We're going to get into the very specific patterns in just a minute. For now, focus on the concept here. Here's resistance, here's support. The reason why we want to find the obvious pattern is we want to make sure other traders can see it. And when other traders can see it, we can capitalize on that pattern. Pure and simple. Now let's take a look at some other types of support and resistance, and then we'll move on into some of the actual more specific examples like trading lanes and the triangles and things. The other type of support and resistance, remember, is the horizontal. We've looked at the angled here. I've shown you a couple of examples. Now let's look at the horizontal. Horizontal support and resistance in the market are usually called double bottoms, double tops. Sometimes you may hear the term triple bottom or triple top. So let's take a look. There's an example right here on your screen. Hopefully you've guessed it by now, and it is right there. and if you didn't, that's okay. But here's a double bottom. Now, hopefully you can just sort of guess why they call it that. It's because the market makes a bottom here, and the market makes a bottom here. And since there's two of them, it's a double. That's all. Now, here's the way to put your line on. Just like that. You select the tool. You'll click on the chart, and it'll create a horizontal line. And you can see you can just move it up and down wherever you'd like on the chart. Now, you don't need a double bottom here and here to put a horizontal line of support or resistance on. You notice I put one down here for the double bottom, but I also put one up here for this single top. Now, I did that because price, for whatever reason, just stopped in midair, and it fascinates me to see price do this. And I'll often wonder, why on earth would traders stop buying right there, here at 66.81? What reason did they have? And it must have been a very important reason. I mean, look at this. Price was about 1450, 14554, and 16681. That's a big price move. Why did they stop buying? It must be an important reason, and I want to make sure that as I move along here, I keep this price and this price here in mind. That's why I look for those as support and resistance. Now you can also use a couple of different points here. Here would be one option that I would definitely use, and that is this low here. Again, the market's moving down. Why did they stop here? Why did they stop selling at 49.03? What reason did they have? I don't know. But again, we're looking for patterns. If other traders stopped selling and started buying at this price level, well, what does that mean? That means in the future, as we are looking at price moving in the future, if price gets back down here, well, if they bought once, they'll probably buy again, just like here. You see this? They bought once, they bought again. Now, if they don't buy, if price breaks support, don't you think that'd be some important information? Absolutely. Just like here, if price breaks through this resistance here, is that important information? Absolutely. So we want to key in on these areas. Now let's go ahead and fast forward. Now we can see price is broken through. Is that important information? Absolutely it is. Let's just go through here and identify some other areas. There's another area of resistance and support. Now look, price, you can see here was, remember we talked about how price was making resistance here. It broke through, sure enough, that's okay. Remember, we're not going to try and be the first person to trade right here at the line. We're simply using the line as a guide, as a signpost. Remember, we're looking to crack the code. We're not looking to make the code. So we look for price to break through or hold resistance. It breaks through. Look at this. It makes new resistance. What happens here? Look at that. Now we have a double top. It held resistance. Very, very important information. Now I'm leaving these lines on here to show you that for a couple of things. Number one, this resistance here, even though price has broken through, can you see how price stops near the line over and over? Now I want you to notice two things. Number one, it doesn't always stop exactly on the line. And you have to have the flexibility to let price break through the line or go a little bit past the line. It does not need to stop dead on it. And we're going to go through techniques in section number 5 when we put all of this together that will help us to not get caught in what are called whipsaw. A whipsaw is when the market breaks through and then falls right back. We have some techniques so you don't get caught there. Rookie traders are constantly getting caught in these trades. In fact, if you've had experience in the markets before, maybe you've seen that, where you've bought and then the market moves up and moves right back down. And you get this called a whipsaw, where the market moves up, moves down, and you get stopped out, or you just get out of the trade because you've lost some money. We have techniques to help stop that from happening. But can you see how the market is trading around the line? And even though, yes, it does break through, you can see here it stops, here again, here, over and over, price is stopping around this line. Very, very useful information. Now, let's just kind of whip through here. Now, I'm going to stop here because there's some, I want to show you some very important trading information here. You notice how as this market is trading, even though we can see that it's moving sideways, that there are areas of sloped or angled support and resistance. Hopefully you can see those. Here, right there. There are two angled lines. Go ahead and delete that. You can see this line here, there, and then there's a upward sloping line here.